personally don't know exactly which buddy you are talking about because I would still need to check whose team member is allocated to you as well. But I will just be sure that I'm following up on everybody who's not active that the team members tell me to. So if you also feel like any other buddy is not active at your own buddy group, just let me know because it's way easier since you are there. It's more difficult for me to just check up on each and every one of you every day.
Any more questions regarding the buddy project? If not, we will proceed. We have another question from KNPSV. You mentioned that you lacked a bit in being active in collaboration with the president. What were the reasons for this, and what will you recommend to your successor to prevent this? Bernardo,
VPA. So first of all, as recommendation, is just meeting the EPSA president soon in the mandate, so that you check on your plan for the team. As soon as you have the team complete, because we took some time to get the team complete due to the election, still. I managed to meet with Mihai for the personal meetings. What I stated in my report is that I would like to be a bit more involved in this because I really think that more input can be given from my side, and I will try to focus on providing more support to the EPSA president this way, not only during team hangouts but also during the team management. But it's not that I wasn't there.
Any more questions? If not, I have one from Chassis. Could you please explain which associations are being another one from Chassis. How satisfied are you with the buddy project at the moment? How many participants applied for the support fund and how many did it get it? Bernardo
BPA, so 14 applications for the support fund and 5 people got support.
Any more questions? Chassis.
Nate, Slovenia, so I'm not actually sure like if this can be discussed right now, but yeah, we have been trying to solve something in regards to the support fund. Like, does the executive have any updates in regards to it? Thank you.
Further information behind. President. Yeah, thank you. This will be discussed during the point of the working statement. Okay, with this we will proceed to the next question from MPSA. Okay. We have another question from PFTSO. We have a question from Pastorem. It's a comment as well. Congratulations on the work done so far. To be kept in mind, maybe a solution to unresponsive members as ASFRM would be to ask active members who might be closer in contact to try to liaise with them. You have many plans for the upcoming half of the mandate, and would you advise you to be cautious and have them very well planned in time, since you will also start the internship in Brussels. We would also be happy with a slight increase in activity on the WhatsApp LS group. I have another question from USF. How beneficial? A question from APEF. The second question from APEF. Last Monday there was an investigation in the background of EPSA in the WHSS. Did you discuss this with the executive? Bernardo
BPA, so we discussed this at the beginning of the mandate and we decided that WHSS would remain under the VPA portfolio. I have been keeping on updating the EPSA executive on WHSS work up until now.
Thank you. I have another, okay, Aho.
As far as I understood, the last WHSS that was planned was dropped because of organizational problems. Do you think this time it will happen, and how can we take part in preventing this from happening in the future?
No.
Fernando BPA, I already stated my concern in regards to the way that they are organized and the way that they do their work. Because, for example, once they scheduled a meeting, they sent a message at 5 a.m. and for a meeting at 1 in the afternoon, which is completely completely unfeasible for anyone to just decide that they are going to attend. Like they do try to work a lot on the event. I see that things are being done, and I have been sharing them with the executive, and we have been discussing on them. It's just that the way that they proceed with the organization of the event is completely strange, and I'm unsure, to be honest.
Thank you, Bernardo. Do you have any updates on the communication with Moldova? Okay, we will proceed. I will open the floor for questions on the room. Abed.
About Portugal, so it's just a comment. We in APEF hope that the problems that we had in communication regarding the APEF training project will not happen again, because APEF training project is a really important project for us, and it's important to have this collaboration with EPSA.
Any more comments? If not, we have.
Hi, President. Thank you, Bernardo, for all the work which you have done in the department.
Thank you. So now we will proceed to the next coordinator, that is Nate. Please come and present your update. Nate.
Nate Salome coordinator. Sorry, probably coughing a bit. So since submitting of the report, I wrote info pack for alumni weekend and shared it with the alumni attending. I shared the sheet for questions to alumni advisory report, so they were able to comment on the report. And I also collected the responses and then input it into the main sheet that we have. I was promoting Teams project to alumni, to Google Group, to Facebook Group. I had a meeting with the reception committee for this alumni weekend. I also got in touch with the RC from Lyon for in regards to alumni weekend. I also sent information to LSS who have alumni here to update them. They actually have people here. I had an alumni meeting yesterday with the alumni, and I also send reminders to the debtors who are alumni that they don't EPSA somehow.
So I will start with the questions on the spreadsheet from KMPSV. How many people have registered themselves to become an alumni? Nate.
Next alumni coordinator, so currently we have 222 registered alumni.
Okay, I will have another question from KMPSV. How many alumni have subscribed to the alumni newsletter? Nate.
Next alumni coordinator, so it's the same number because when you register, you are subscribed.
Okay, KMPSV.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, how many people registered for this year, so how many new people?
Next.
Next alumni coordinator, yeah, sorry. So far I've gotten almost 40 alumni. Seems to be
Okay, I will proceed with the questions on the spreadsheet from AFOP. Could you give any tips on how to ensure technical?
There are different delegations engaging. It's not allowed, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Zafir. I will read the question again. Could you give any tips on how to ensure higher attendance to alumni weekend at the congresses? Next.
Nice alumni coordinator, so I guess you're referring that we have quite low attendance now. So basically I also tackled this yesterday with alumni here, and everyone agreed that the problem, I mean not a problem, but the reason is the location. So I'm not concerned about the upcoming alumni weekend in France. I think we're going to have 40 people as much as we can. But for now, it's just the location. But yeah, of course you can always promote
Okay, I have a question from Pascal. Do you have any suggestion on how to prevent alumni who registered for events from cancelling and keeping their interest high? Please.
Nice. So if I give you some reasons for what happened now is basically everyone who canceled either got something at work or like an urgently pop out because they are working professionals, so sometimes they cannot just take a vacation or like all the time. But yeah, basically what I could do, maybe because like now I was able to have all the alumni and then I created a WhatsApp group which I have now. Maybe I could have created it a bit earlier, added everyone and then just like post some stuff there. Maybe that would trigger their interest in actually like staying and then going.
Thank you. Any question regarding this? If not, I have one question from Shasasatudu. To have alumni attending the alumni weekend in the end. Thank you. What is the opinion of alumni in general about the current work of EPSA? Nate.
Can I just refer to the first question?
No, it was dropped.
So, Nate's my coordinator. So yesterday in the meeting we were also talking about EPSA in general a bit. And what's the feedback that I got from the alumni is that we are doing same mistakes like that they were doing before. So basically, what was the outcome of that is that maybe we could work a bit on the handover, a bit more and with a bit of a different approach as well. So I will discuss this with the internal affairs department because I don't think we have time now.
Any question? Okay, technical on one of server.
Quite an observer. Is like the AC working because it's like really hot in the back? Thank you.
Okay, I have EPSA. Secretary, go back.
Thanks so much as a president. So I have a question for the alumni coordinator. I was just wondering, in terms of the attendance of the alumnus, is EPSA paying for their attendance or the alumni paying for themselves?
Nate.
Nate's alumni coordinator. So alumni weekend has a separate budget. It's not within the event budget, and there is a participation fee that the alumni pay to get to the weekend.
Any more questions or comments? If not, I will proceed with the question from the spreadsheet from APEV. SSFP. What would be the reason for not having any alumni advisory board meetings until now? Next.
Nate's alumni coordinator. So this is going as planned. So I planned the first one for after the GA because I think we're actually gonna have stuff to discuss. So we cannot. I don't want to have a meeting just for the sake of having the meeting without having any discussion there, especially with the alumni advisory board.
I have no questions in the room, so I'll proceed to the next one from Anne. How many registered alumni do you have? Okay. What would be the next steps for this platform to be more efficient? Next.
Nate's alumni coordinator. So I also discussed this yesterday with the alumni here, and they all agreed that it could be of a benefit, but right now it's not fully operational yet. So that's why you don't see me promoting it, because I don't want to release something that's not working 100%. So I will be working with it together with Anya and also with the AAP, so to actually know what to put there, not to duplicate what's being done for Google Group. So that my next step would be go to AAP, go to myself a bit more, brainstorm of what I
want to have there, and then also check if that's even possible, because I don't know how to code and improve this thing. So the thing is that I am dependent on other people as well here, so I hope I can manage.
Thank you. Any more questions regarding this? If not, I still have one. I can see a discrepancy in the number of alumni attending 8 versus 12. What is the exact number? Next
alumni coordinator, so now it's actually 7 because one Italian had urgent thing at work, so he couldn't come. So yeah, but at the time of writing my report, I had more people.
Okay. Any question on the room? We are over with the questions of the spreadsheet. If not, I have Bernardo.
Bernardo BPA, thank you very much, Nils, for your work. You make it so easy to handle the internal ways of working.
Thank you. Now we will proceed to the events coordinator. Anna, you can go and start present your update.
Hi, Anna, as coordinator. Since I wrote the report, I created a doodle for the registration of AC20, which I did not share yet, but I discussed it with Anja, we're working on it. The survey for AA, this congress was created, which will be shared the week after the event. The meeting with the AC of 2020, check the grant application that Bernardo filled in. I made a draft version of the AA 17 events timeline. I need to share it and ask for feedback. I started preparing the Google form for the handover that was mentioned in my report. I read the report, fellow team members held an events workshop during the team meeting and LS Day. I attended the meeting event in the market to discuss events with members. Handling logistics during this congress. I had an RC and EPSA meeting with the RC of AA, with a hangout with the RC of Bosnia, skeleton meeting with AA20, AC20 and SU20 RCs, and I was handling logistics for one workshop.
Thank you. We will proceed to the questions on the spreadsheet. First one from Alpha. Could you please elaborate on the RC handover? How are you planning on serving the collected recommendations from the previous RC annexed to already extensive events handbook?
I'm the events coordinator, so I plan to do it like a Google form, because people that are responding on the questions, you can the questions will gather under each other, and I will just try to make it into one document after a few RCs filled it in. I'm not really planning on making it an official annex, but will store it on the drive of the events coordinator.
Any more questions on the room? Do you have any new EPSA members interested in hosting an EPSA event?
On events coordinator, so we have Slovakia and Poland interested in hosting an EPSA event, and further I have some other members approaching me, okay, you give me a little bit more information, but not actually shared information yet, so not first mention here.
Any more questions on the room? If not, another one from Shizuku. Being an EPSA events coordinator, how did you try to improve the collaboration between the RC and the EPSA AC 2020? Anne?
I'm events coordinator, so I facilitated meetings with the AC of 20, RC of AC 20. I suggested some solutions during meetings, tried to find a common ground. I approached it sometimes to tell him that I'm trying to find these solutions. So that's basically it.
Thank you. Any questions? If not, I will proceed with another one from Shizuku. Okay. Fast food. Regarding point 2.3, plans for the remaining mandate in your report, Is it efficient to check if the submitted events are relevant to members after they have been displayed on the website? Would it be better to check this before they are published? Anne?
On events coordinator, yes, that was how it was done before, but how it's working is I put something in the Google Calendar, like an event, and then it's displayed on the website. But when I put it in the Google Calendar, it was not displayed on the website anymore. So I approached our IT coordinator, Anya, and she fixed it, and now it's working like this. But I think, yeah, we should give it another look and see if we can go back to the previous situation. Yes, that's how it's handled now, so it's at least working.
Okay, and I have another question for Barnett regarding events calendar. Does this mean that you are not the one uploading them anymore? If yes, okay. I have another question. The RC server is actually designed to gather those handover parties. Maybe it would be good to restructure it a bit so it could be used the best and avoid the RCs having to fill multiple surveys.
Events coordinator. Yes, but what I'm proposing now is to have it in a Google Doc, so the information of previous RCs will be stored at one place, and if you use the survey as we do it now, you will have like 5 different surveys to check for the information instead of having it in an Excel sheet underneath each other. So yeah, I think this way the information will be accessed easier, and I will revise it, and I will also make sure that like RCs are not filling in the same question multiple times, and also the survey for the event is also more about how is it going during the event and how is the event going. But I want the Google form to be a little bit more about what if there's like one language that you could have had before working as an RC that would have helped your mandate, like what would it be, like those kind of tips.
Thank you, Anne. Any more questions on the room regarding this? If not, I still have 2 questions from APEF. Regarding the surveys that were sent to the SU participants, did you analyze them and find something that in general needed to be improved in the organization of EPSA events? Anne?
Events coordinator. No, the survey was like the outcomes of the survey were actually very positive. Everybody was super enthusiastic, so there were not like major new things to improve. Yeah, people are like participants are always want to have better food and logistics. Regarding logistics, participants prefer to have parties at the venue itself so they can decide which time they're going and leaving. But that was mentioned a few times, but no major things. It's not different from other surveys.
Thank you. Any more questions regarding this? If not, I still have the last question from the spreadsheet from APEF. In your opinion, and since that was several miscommunication in different events, do you have any specific strategy to improve the communication and productive between EPSA and RC? Anne?
On events coordinator, for this time, no, I don't have yet. But as I mentioned, I scheduled meetings with the RCs for this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, so I think that's a very nice moment to discuss it with each other as we can meet real life now.
Point of information, Eva.
Eva, IPP. Just also want to add, I already sent an email about this, but we keep adding regulation changes in regards to it. For example, the event checklist and so on and so on. So whenever there is a problem, there's always an immediate response to it by trying to improve the communication and collaboration through regulations or just internal agreements on how we handle things.
Thank you. Any more questions on the room? PhD Germany.
Matthias, PhD Germany. Yes, regarding the participant event survey, I was wondering if you plan on implementing this on a regular basis for all future EPSA events. Thank you.
Point of information, Eva.
Eva IPP. Yeah, this is something that has been a practice for years now after every event, so I assume any plans to continue, but yeah, it's been, I think, decades now.
Any more comments? If not, I have a new point from Shizasukudu.
So I have a question about the parking, because in your previous report you mentioned that it is €3 per day, but now I have been getting the feedback from our delegation that they got the info at the reception that it is for free. So yeah, what is the official information?
And then
Defense coordinator, I should check on this with the RC because they didn't approach me to update me on this, but as I asked the RC, it is €3 per day, but they're trying to discuss with the hotels and have it for free. So it might be that they managed to handle it now, but I will ask, I will check it, and I think I'll come back somewhere during the day to and distribute the right information.
any more comments? SSFP.
Sorina is SSFP Romania. I want to thank you for everything that you're doing with us. The communication is great. Everything looks great. You are always there when we approach you, so I really have to thank you on behalf of the arts and summer investment.
An observer.
Sid, Chairperson C 2020. I have to join FSFP Romania in saying that Anne is very supportive to us, especially like regarding all the problems we're having with some people that say it like that, and that's why on behalf of my RC, thank you very much, Anne.
Any more comments? Okay, I have another observer there.
Hello, VRCHP for AA 2020. I just want to say, Anne, thank you for your cooperation. It was really great. Communication with us and like the entire team is really great. I'm really looking forward to continuing support with you and working on the next best AA next year. So thank you.
Any more comments? If not, I open.
Bernard BPA, thank you very much and for your work. As you can see, all the RCs love you and you are doing a great job.
Thank you. We will proceed to the next point. Mihai. It's Mari.
Yeah, President, so as I said, mine is not here, it's doing some things to handle, so it's okay to proceed with the administrative department. Procedure agreement.
So I'll give the floor to Mihai to present the updates.
Okay. Hello. My updates to the report are I attended the second team hangout at the hospital. I checked the waiver availability and deposit agreement with Bernardo. I checked the EPSA newsletter. I attended the AA20 meeting. I finalized the GA agenda, strategic transparatory document, and examination for the next GA. I wrote my report. I followed up on the work statement 7 and what the member association did so far regarding this. I attended the OD's meeting. I worked on the grant application. I had the GA preparatory meeting with PC and Mina. I attended the SU20 educational meeting. I finished actually the new EPSA presentations. I followed up on EC20 discussion. I updated the EPSA calendar and sent updates to the members. I worked on the activity book and table of contents. I read all the team's report and provided feedback. I was in contact with AA20. I signed the SU20 contract. I attended the SU90 follow-up meeting. I prepared team meeting activities. I created an invitation letter for participants at AA. I wrote the 9th OEM minutes. I had a live meeting with AC20 here, and I follow up on other emails matters.
Thank you. I will start with the questions on the spreadsheet. First one from Shizasukudu. How important was, in your opinion, the involvement of the President regarding the issues in the 43rd EPSA AC? Mihai?
Yeah, President, thank you for your question. the involvement of the president, there is also more or less the involvement of the president in each matters of EPSA. And the moment I felt that I needed to intervene more is when we discussed the contract and like in the general approach of each part, because the president is the one that's aware of what everybody is doing. So that was like the idea was that I think the president should be involved in this kind of matters.
Thank you. Any questions regarding this? Not, I will proceed for the next one from SSPD. In your report, you state that you will try to create a working group for updating the statutes. Could you elaborate on that? Mihai?
Yeah, President, yes. The statutes are now 5 years old, if I'm not mistaken, yes. In this time it's advanced and we need to keep up with that also, but the statutes, for updating the statute, there is needed for an extraordinary General Assembly, like a separate one. And this is one part of my plan, as we were trying to also investigate the EPSA registration in Brussels. So if we will manage to move EPSA to Brussels, then this will also be part of updating the statutes. The creation of the working group, when the statutes are updated, the working group consisting of members, alumni is created in order to check and see what needs to be updated there. And based on the discussions, we will create for another working group with the next General Assembly.
Point of information,
Eva IPP. So what happened in the last time the statutes were updated, we also had this working group because it's a legal document. It's a document that legally establishes EPSA. So who we had inside was some team members that were working on it, some alumni, and also representatives from EPSA, so the Law Students Association, to make sure that everything is in accordance with the law. Because if statutes break the law, it's not the best idea ever, because it can hurt EPSA as a whole.
Thank you. Any questions regarding this? If not, we will proceed to the next one from SSPD. How satisfied are you with EPSA executive members involved in discussing regarding management of EPSA? Mihai?
President, yes, overall I'm quite pleased with the engagement of the executive members. I greatly feedback all of them, and I'm proud of their work. Of course, there is always need for improvement, and I addressed each one of them with constructive feedback. So, I think the involvement in the management of EPSA, in general, like each of the VPs are managing their department quite well. And
any question? If not, I will proceed to the next one. Okay, the last one from SSPD. How is your collaboration with the Brussels intern? Is your absence there somehow affecting your work as president? Mihai?
Yes, Mihai, President. I've been in close contact with the interns. I'm having a Telegram chat, so I know what they are doing at each step. But I'm also attending their meetings. They have a weekly meeting for the OEM on Monday, and I'm attending that live, and I listen to what they are working. I'm trying to provide my input if needed. I think this is very subjective, because I would say that for the president that I am, like the way I'm working, I think for me it's better a little bit. It's unfortunate that I'm not in Brussels, and because I need to finish my studies. But for the whole team in general, I think my overview as a team, I have a better overview because I do not have an internship there and have to work also for the exam, which would take me some time, because I can see for the interns it's a lot demanding. So I use my free time to work for myself at home and try to manage everybody. So I hope this.
Any questions from the room? Not, I will proceed to one question from a comment from Tasper. We wish to congratulate your work you have done so far. Things are moving in the right direction for EPSA thanks to continuous effort you and your team are making. I have another comment from Tasper to be keep in mind. There are a lot of strong characters in this year team, each member coming with their own fresh ideas and approaches to situations. Therefore, we advise you to stay as close to them as you did until now, and always try to intervene as soon as tensions arise, and suit the collaboration between members to ensure productivity. We are looking forward to seeing you attend more external events, as this would really benefit EPSA, its members, and its collaborations. In our view, keep up the EPSA calendar, as we are very satisfied with it and think weekly updates are perfect in terms of frequency. Mihai?
Yes, thank you for your comment, and yeah, I agree with everything that you said. I just one thing on the last part, I tried to be available. Yes, maybe I was not here each time because I also had some things of mine, but in general, so far, one thing that it's more of an internal thing we and maybe not everybody knows is that we try to prioritize the BPO external for external events and BPO internal for internal and for advocacy PLN. And yeah, sometimes I was available, but you can see the minutes, but we just send the person that would have been having more input. If there were two places, I joined when it would be. And for the future, yeah, I already have input then and received an invitation to the EHP Congress that's happening next year, which I will attend.
Thank you. I will proceed with the questions on the spreadsheet from APEF. You say a lot of times throughout the report that the president is the face of the association. However, you only mentioned 2 external representations. Do you plan to improve this? And do you have specific events already planned that you want to attend? I'm asking the GA if they feel the need to answer of this question. Okay, Mihai.
Yeah, President, thank you for your question. Yeah, I think I've already said that I'm planning to attend more, and I showed like exactly what the procedure was so far. I don't know what else can I say. If you need any more comment on my side.
Okay.
Portugal, we want to know the specific events, if you can mention more than the EHP.
Yeah, President, yeah, we did not receive any other invitations so far, so it depends also on what we receive. I can tell you from the past experience what I will try to attend. For example, for members it would be the Alpha Ball, because it will be a presidential invitation. But other than that, yeah, I cannot tell right now exactly which, because we are waiting for the invitations. Thank you. I will
proceed to the Mihai.
I'll take this opportunity to thank our members for inviting us to their events, and yeah, I'm looking forward to more invitation because it's very beneficial for us and for you also. And one more thing that we discussed in the team is that we would like maybe for you to keep in mind is that if you are inviting us to your events, maybe you would like to, if possible, to meet with your boards to discuss like your general involvement with EPSA, and if we can improve something with your executive board members, like how is your structure?
I have the direct CBSA.
Hello, CBSA. Just a question on this, for the invitation before the event, did you plan regarding communication regarding the association itself, the organization of the event? So I'm sorry, just a clarification on that. Also, what would be the desired timeline when inviting the EPSA members on the external event?
Hi, President, thank you for your question. For the first part, I would like to meet with the board of the association, meaning that the executive is leading, and discuss like your structure you're involved in EPSA, not really the organization of the event that you are getting invited. And for the second part, the most ideal situation is, I think, 1 month, 1.5 before the event, because yeah, the sooner the better for us, because the costs and also maybe more people will be available to respond to your invitation. Because yeah, the closer it is, we might have other things in our agenda. So
thank you. I will proceed with the questions on the spreadsheet. Regarding the EPSA re-entry, do you? Okay. I don't have. Oh, I have it. Sorry. Asep. What fruitful outcomes for EPSA did you reach when attending external events with Paulina?
Yeah, President. Yeah, so far, Paulina attended the two events that I was the World Congress of IPSF and then the re-entry. On World Congress, we discussed with IPSF. We had a meeting with the President-elect, now President Aya Jamal, and I think we discussed in general the involvement, like more informal, but still I think it's a good thing to discuss even like this, to see that everybody is willing to collaborate. And on the re-entry, I think it was a good event. I will present more in the working statement part about the re-entry, but the outcomes for EPSA, what the feedback that we got is that it was good, and the externals were more wanted more information, even more from us, and we discussed them.
Thank you. Any more questions regarding this? This will be tackled as well on the working statement, so I will proceed with a question from Annette. Could EPSA presentation maybe update right after election or at least first team meeting? It is quite useful to present to our students. Mihai?
Yeah, EPSA President, actually the presentation is updated at least around 4 times in a year, I can say. At least 2 because it's updated before each event. So like right after the election, we discussed in the team what needs to be updated. And one more time it can be updated before the webinar. There's a personal activities webinar that is coming like 2-3 weeks after each EPSA event. Like right now updated it in also the visuals, so I received good feedback for that.
Thank you. Annette?
Mela and France, yes, I was referring because we had our GX on plan and we had to present EPSA, and it was mostly regarding like the new team. It's nothing, but like in the end, so I mean maybe if it's possible then we can do it also when we are making the presentations, but like some small information were like not thank you, that's it.
Yeah, President, yes, I agree with you, and I will communicate this with my successor to update the list around the first meeting to be beneficial.
Any more questions? We are over with the Annette.
Mela and France, yes, I think I told you before, but the new EPSA presentation is like dope. It's really, really super nice, and I'm looking forward to present that one as well. Thank you.
PNPSV?
Came to the Netherlands. I thought I submitted that before, but it wasn't there, so I'm asking it now. You mentioned in your report communication over email between executive. I was wondering how will you be able to encourage EPSA team members to be more active with you?
Hi, President, yes, thank you for your question. Regarding this, I remember each time that all the team members discuss things over email and not that much over calls or meetings, because my information might be lost. Therefore, even though this happened, I've always received outcomes of those discussions, so in the end the information was not lost. But one thing that I did for empowering more this idea of using the email was, for example, in the team meeting when the discussion just started going around, I said that we cannot discuss right now, and just please go to the email if you want to follow up on this, because it will be much more to be discussed and the time is limited. So this is what I am always trying to do also in the OEM, because we have limited time for everything, and I think the email is also not it's good not only because you can see what the other said and you we can agree on exact parts, but also to be stored for the future generations. Like this is the most important. I find it very useful to have all the emails in my inbox when I need to refer to what happened in the past.
Any more questions? Okay, I have a SSFP.
I said Romania was mine is more like a comment. I would like also on behalf of the architects from the university to thank you guys for everything because you provided us with feedback. It was always there for us to answer our questions, so I really have to thank you for that.
After?
Portugal. So in these periods I saw some coordinators or team members that was out of office. So I want to show my concerns because in January will be the exams period, and maybe sensitize them that they have responsibilities and they cannot just drop.
Behind.
EPSA President, thank you for your comment or question. The idea is that from the start of the mandate, I tell people to just stay when they're out of office, because it sometimes in the past happened that we were not aware people were out of office, so we didn't know what to do, we were talking and not responding, and so the activities were stuck at the point. Yes, I agree with what you said, but in the end I think we figured out so far good on delegating if it was needed, and I always stressed out to leave things arranged before you're going out of office, which I think it happened quite well so far. For the period that's coming with the exams, the EPSA activity in a whole is prepared for that, because it always happens in each year. I am aware of what is going to happen, and I plan to tackle all things in advance, like for example from my side, collecting for articles for activity that happen summer in the first part, like to finish summer in the first part of December, so we have everything planned, and people are not overwhelmed during the exams period, because they also need to tackle their exams. But overall, I think during the years also people were available to at least provide small input during the exam period. So what I'm asking is for the executive, and I think it's okay. Also for the executive, we are not that many that we are still having studies. It's only me. And it will be okay.
Thank you. Any more questions on the room? Okay, technical answer.
Well, I have a question regarding the document we need to sign. I think NAPSTER and some other association are not listed in, so maybe you can check it later.
Measures or Dylan will tackle that. Okay, technical comment.
I'm their treasurer, now it's too complicated.
Okay, we will proceed with the General Assembly. If we don't have more questions, we will go to Mina. So, Bernard.
Bernard VPA, I would just like to thank Mihai for his work on the management of the team. Like, he's been really awesome, and I'm proud of him.
With no more comments, we will proceed to the next executive member. So please, Mina, present your updates. Mina.
Okay, Mina, Secretary General. So for my updates, I have delivered and updated the GA package for the 58 EPSA GA. I communicated to LSs to check if all their ODs had access to the said package. I delivered the live RC executive meeting minutes from the meeting in Brussels to the PC, and they proceeded accordingly. I was helping out with the collection of the raffle items from the EPSA house. I uploaded some documents to the EPSA library, such as EPSA meeting minutes. I have been dedicated to preliminary coordinating with meeting secretaries and scrutineers for the 58 EPSA GA. And I have liaised with Bernardo to getting voting cards and flags for this GA as well.
Thank you, Mina. Now I will proceed with the questions on the spreadsheet. First one from KMBSV. The GA package was 1 day late. What was the reason behind this? Mina?
so I'm trying to maybe see like your angle because from discussing with EPC and the exec, the GA package was not too late because the deadline, according to regulation, is 2 weeks before the start of the GA, not the start of Autumn Assembly. So I think that's where, yeah. So it was on time. Just for additional clarification, it's not specified, like for example, motion submissions, like exact time when you have to submit. It's just like the general day 2 weeks before the start of the GA.
Okay, Nina, please next time take your position. I have another question from KMPSP. The minutes of the last OEM were uploaded very late. What was the reason for this delay? Nina with a new point.
Secretary General. So yes, they were approved in a timely manner, but the formatting additionally took some time to actually have it presentable for distribution and for the library. So that was the reason, more or less.
Okay, KMPSV.
Elina from the Netherlands. Yeah, but in the future, like it was for us, the documents were refused. So how will it prevent it in the future?
Mina.
Secretary General. So I think this is a recurring question with his position, like immediate delays and stuff. So I think personally, the latest delay I think can be maybe attributed to these RC live exec meeting minutes, which was like a document of 30 pages that's actually like 2 OEMs that you can do in that time. And with the increased workload prior to the GA, the time management got a bit tricky, but yes, I'm working to like have all the deadlines met, and then after AA I can start fresh.
Thank you. I will proceed with the questions on the spreadsheet from BFSO. Okay. Fast food. Congratulations on the work done so far. Although we are aware of the big extended minutes of all meetings, we would advise an increase in the timeless with which these are released. Another question from Shisufudu. How was your handover period and how much minutes still had to be written from the previous mandate since you overtook the position? Mina?
Okay, Mina, Secretary General. I was overall satisfied with the handover in the beginning, but I think that you really get a clear perception of your position once you advance with the work along the mandate. What I liked and plan to keep is the meetings that I had with my predecessor on certain topics that were scheduled on a bi-weekly basis. But also now I can see from my perspective what the next Secretary General should be more aware of. Regarding
Mina
Secretary General, and since the minutes that still had to be written from the previous mandate, those were I think the whole 57th GA minutes that are IPP to concur, and I think maybe some
What of information about?
Eva, IPP, yes, I will help with this one. So from last mandate, what was left was the GA minutes, which I wrote. In regards to some OEM minutes that were missing, the practice is that the Secretary General-elect takes over OEM minutes as handover project. So Mina was working on those, but the rest was delivered either by me or Mariana by the end of the handover period.
Thank you. Any questions regarding this? If not, I will proceed with NBSA. Will it be possible to harmonize the way that the PDF files in the EPSA library are saved, since some of them, for example, the minutes of the 56 GA have selected content, while other PDF, for example, the minutes of the 67 don't, which makes it harder to search for a specific discussion?
Mina Secretary General, so at the second team meeting there was an action point set for the whole team to go through the library and evaluate the distribution of the documents if there were some missing and allocate them accordingly, and then updated table of contents according to that, which will be my task, but of course with the input from the whole team.
Point of information, Emma.
Yes, IPP, I think he's more referring to the type of PDF that you shared, because there are two types of PDFs. Some are searchable, some are not. And yeah, sometimes it happens. I will try to explain internally to fix this.
Bullshit, Nina.
Yeah, Secretary General, we all know that we can never really know what we can expect at the end of converting a document with the report.
We will proceed. Any questions still? If not, I have a last one from the thread from Abeth. In the first team meeting, you said that you were thinking of the guidelines of the meeting secretaries, but you don't mention this in the report. Can you clarify, Mina?
Secretary General, yes, it was maybe a mistake just to not mention the future plans with it. But there has been no work done so far, because this GA was the first time that I was on the actually receiving end of the submissions for the meeting secretaries and scrutineers. And I now have a really good overview of what information they need to be provided, because sometimes when everything is clear for someone and you think it's common knowledge for everyone, it's not the case. So this will definitely be prepared and ready for the next GA.
Thank you. I don't have any questions on the room. On the spreadsheet, do I have on the room? Ce se do.
This is actually a comment, because for example, when we submitted the report of credentials form for the AC in Sofia, we received an email back from the previous secretary that everything is in order. In terms of this AA, we didn't, so like for the next AC, we would really like if you send us an email back. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions or comments? If not, I have Mina.
Hi, President. Thank you, Mina, for all the work that you have done for the legislative part of EPSA.
Thank you. We will proceed now to the next point. Camber, please present your updates.
So, Camber Treasurer, I coordinated with training coordinators and DPA for printings of trainer hoodies and stickers. I followed up on the team meeting expenses and LST expenses. Reached out to multiple debtors via social media and also with the help of alumni coordinator. I finalized the payments to our creditors. I prepared the raffle spreadsheet to have randomized outcomes. I categorized and coordinated the items for auctions, merch sales and raffles. Also attended second team meeting and OD's meeting, received a 2018 financial report and started to audit it with the audit committee, which he also informed me about it. And I coordinated with VPIA and events coordinated for the auction and raffle.
Thank you, Camber. I will proceed with the questions on the spreadsheet from KNPSP. You mentioned that you will start from the 15th of October with improved communication between the RC of AA, AC, SU and Treasurer. Did you start this yet? Camber?
I'm a treasurer. Yes, I've already started and emails are sent, inputs are received, and I'm also included in several telegram chats.
Okay, another question from KNPSP. How is the communication between you and the treasurers of the AC 2020 going? Camber?
Our communication with Lisa started recently with email, which I aim to improve.
I have another question from KNPSP. What student event are you planning to go into? Camber?
Camber Treasurer. So far I have only attended an event, but I aim to attend more during the rest of my mandate. I especially aim to attend HCON, which will be held by USAID, if they accept me.
Thank you. I will proceed. Question from KNPSP. You mentioned that you could not come up with a solution to improve this process between you will plan to investigate this further, or are you planning to go with this? This is the support fund. Camber?
So I also received the same question from the student, and actually I reviewed all of the feedbacks and inputs provided by Matthias from PhD and from OFAB, and they all agreed on having some bank statements from the applicants, which I actually support, but I think I'm not sure if it's feasible or if it's legally applicable. So I will try to work on this more.
Okay.
Can I just ask the IPSF how is their situation in regards to the support fund? Like how do they collect it? Do they want the bank statement from the participant that are applying for it, or how do you do it?
IPSF.
So when it comes to support fund, well, we actually extract the fundings from different sources. So when it comes to having it in our treasury, it's always collected also from the donations. For example, you also had the event when you were bidding, for Poreč, for other stuff. What's the right? Okay, sorry, my mistake. So basically, when we have applicants for it, we ask for their bank accounts, of course, but we also ask for other statements and other proofs that would actually help us to select them in a way and try to say, okay, this person needs more support because of this and that, maybe some of their personal problems, let's say, or, for example, some social status. We understand that, let's say, a person needs more help when it comes to, paying for the flight. So we also take into account the place where the person is coming from. So such examples are to be considered as well.
Thank you. Any question? Herbert?
My question is, so my question is, do you have some objective pointing method or some evaluation method, or you just read it and decide on it, like some objective table or something?
IPS. Okay, point of information, Mihai.
President. So Paulina sent an email to IPSF a while ago. Yeah, I cannot remember. But the input that we got from IPSF is that they use a ranking based also on the World Bank power, like how can I say, like also like where the country is situated, like as monetary power. Also, if they received the grant before and their involvement in IPSF, like this was the general thing that we got from them that they use for giving scores to the score fund applicants.
Do you need any more clarification on this? If not, we will proceed to the next question. Regarding the raffle and auction, do you have already things in mind that you will improve the raffles and auctions at EPSA events? Kamber?
So we tried to implement silent auction at the last auction, which was not quite successful, and also we implemented accepting local currency in raffles, which will be accepted now in the coffee break. And for the future improvements, I have received an idea from our IPP during the team meeting, so I will try to work on it and also will ask your feedbacks on this topic after AA.
KNPSV?
From KNPSV, which idea did you receive?
Kamber?
So I didn't understand.
From KNPSV, which idea did you receive from the IPP?
Kamber?
So In the past, the member associations attended the auctions under their representing their members associations. So we may start to implement it again. I mean, it's not a concrete idea, but it's just a thought so far.
Point of information now.
Yeah, if I can just to explain. Auction is something that's been on for a long time, and you guys provide items. But what used to happen basically before the recession is that the associations would bid on each other's items. I don't know if you have in your association, but for example, in Shota we have a whole box full of items from other associations. But I think once we all started getting affected a bit with finances, this stopped. So now it's individuals bidding. Like, it's not forbidden for member associations to bid, but for some reason throughout the years everyone stopped doing it, and the amount of money we get through auction is a lot lower than in the beginning. So that's why also last mandate we recommended completely investigating if auctions should even still continue, because it's just 10 people bidding at every event, and but it's something for the executive to investigate further together with the alumni as well.
Any more comments on this? I have a new point from AFO.
I think Chris, the last treasurer, said something about investigating whether a card reader at the auction night is feasible.
Point of information level.
Yes, we investigated this, but unfortunately EPSA cannot have a card reader with our current registration, because we are registered without a specific tax number we need to get it. We are now investigating possibly getting it through one of our internship providers. So but right now it's not possible.
Any more questions? Not that I have another one from KNPSV. Okay. I have one from AFO. Your predecessor talked about the roster. Okay. What is the next? Second one? Third one? What is your opinion? Okay. Slovenia, what is your opinion on the official RC budget?
Convert treasurer. So I have created RC budget table. I combined previous financial reports, and also I asked feedback from the current RCs, and I combined these inputs and feedbacks together, and also I asked the opinion of Alexis on this topic. So I think it's functioning now, like we can use it, but I don't want it to be finished. I want it to be improved, and to do this we should use it in action, and I think I need collaboration of RCs for this, which I believe will be offered generous to me.
Any comment? If not, we'll proceed to a question from MPSA. Would you recommend official delegates of a given member association to pay the membership fee of their association in order to overlap the period the association has not paid?
So I need a clarification on this. The
MPSA?
MPSA, so what I want to ask is, was it possible to you taking cash money and afterwards bringing it back in that way?
Convert treasury. So it's not the ideal way, but I can say that if it's applicable to you, and if you are sure that your association will pay back, or I will get, like, if the EPSA will get money, it's actually a personal decision. It depends on you.
Thank you. We will proceed with the questions on the spreadsheet from VFS. So, when will this decision be made to move EPSA to Belgium?
The decision is still an open topic, and I think the President just answered the question about this.
Okay. Okay, drop the second questions. I will go to Pastor Romanian. Congratulations on the work done so far, especially with regards to the new templates which were created. Another comment, we strongly support the idea of you bringing more input to the executive discussions, especially since you now have more inside knowledge. Always keep in mind every opinion counts and brings value to the final outcome. I have another question from Apeth. In order to of the BPPR, it stated that an inventory of the merchandise was done, but in yours it appears as a plan for the future. Can you clarify? Cameron?
So yes, she created a well-crafted list of EPSA merchandise. However, this list does not contain the items which were brought here, and we just want to work on it together.
Okay, Sanyo.
Sanyo EPR, yes, because after summer university, the box with the merchandise stayed in Slovenia.
Okay, you said 1 point, right?
Yes.
Okay, EPSA.
Resilience International Turkey, I just want to really appreciate it for your hard working and also efforts. Your reports preparing so delicately, so I really thank you about that. Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions on the room or comment? Mihai.
Yeah, President, thank you, Campbell, for keeping our finances safe.
Okay, thank you. Bullshit, Cameron.
Oh no.
We will proceed for our IPP. So please, Eva. Technical, Mihai.
Yeah, President, is it okay with the temperature now? Just thumbs up, thumbs down, so I can. Okay. The guy from the technical just went in and set it to 20 degrees with full power, so that's what happened.
Okay, Eva, Campbell, the technical.
So I'm sorry that I have to attend the match again. So apologies.
Go ahead.
Eva IPP. Yes, the updates to my report are that I wrote the 11th and 12th OEM minutes, the live executive handover minutes. I correct some typos that you guys sent in regards to 57 GA minutes. I've been helping to investigate the situation with the team's Google accounts because they're filling up. I followed up on the EPSA directions email thread. I worked on the EPSA events workshop, which I then delivered with Anne at the team meeting. I organized the EPSA Amazing Race for this event, which was not super successful. I opened the call for the knowledge transfer working group and shared the compendium annexes that I created. I checked the methodology booklet annex. I wrote the Slido guidelines for the symposium. I updated the EPSA calendar guidelines and the EPSA communication guidelines, and I wrote the EPSA minutes guidelines. And then I've been helping executive attending meetings, dealing with different documents, and I also delivered a workshop on EPSA history at this event, and I took Eva to a VMF in Slovenia.
Thank you, Eva. I will proceed now with the questions on the spreadsheet. First one from KNPSV. Is there any association interested to be part of the working group for the compendium update yet?
Eva IPP. So I received 7 applications for the working group. 3 of them are alumni, 2 of them are LSs, and 2 of them are members of PASTA Romania or SSB Romania. I'm not sure which one, but yeah, Romania. And that's it for now, yes.
Okay, any questions? I have another question on the spreadsheet from Shishisukudu. Do you think that IPP should be actively involved in the discussions within the team, or just passively observe the discussion and only intervene when needed? Eva?
Eva IPP. I think what I try to do is not to be the first one to respond to any discussion and let at least a couple executive members provide their opinion first and then see if any background information is needed, because that's mostly what I was trying to do, provide background information and stop unnecessary discussions, because as Nate said before, Something that's been pointed out for years now is that we keep repeating mistakes. So I was trying to be involved then and then just trying to help them out as much as possible and focusing on all my ideas and tasks.
Any questions regarding this? I have a comment from EPSA. We would like to thank you for your hard work. You rock. I have a comment from Pastor. We could not have been happier with the collaboration we had with you. We wish to thank you for all the support, patience, guidance, and especially for being the one who is always seeking members' opinion and listening to us and trying to provide solutions to fulfill our needs. I have one question from Annette. Thanks to your presence in the team and experience as section, you managed to help a lot with minutes and all, but this will not always be the case. Do you have any suggestions and recommendations regarding the minutes and workload of section? Eva?
Yes, Eva, IPP. This has been an issue in some mandates and not an issue in others. Sometimes minutes come fast, sometimes not. What also happened in the past is and what past sections have actually pointed out is that there's a bit of people saying, because people don't necessarily have experience with writing minutes and don't like writing minutes, everyone is also kind of letting SecGen maybe not fulfill their deadlines, and that also does not motivate them to do it because everyone's just like, yes, you have a lot of work, so it's fine if you're late. So that's something they pointed out in the past. But from my experience, from seeing, I think, 5 different sections work, I think the biggest thing is being able to write everything down during the meeting. The thing that delays sections is having to go back to the recordings and write based on the recordings, because then they basically have to listen to the whole GA again, which is a week of listening. But if you're able to type everything down, which I was able to do a section, and that's why I was so fast, because I had recordings just to double check the information, and I think that's what should always happen. And this might sound very strange, but what I would recommend to executive to investigate is having SecGen do a course in 10-finger typing. It really sounds weird, but that's what I noticed, because I'm able to type and look around, but some people are not, and it's also hard to expect that from pharmacy students coming in, but I really think that's something that will help with being faster.
Thank you. Any comment? If not, I have another comment from Annette. Would you think it can be done to align EPSA direction to EPSA strategic plan?
Eva, IPP. We will have a point to specifically discuss the directions, but what will also happen is that the strategic plan will get updated in a year and a half, approximately. So I would, and the executive is already planning to investigate the projects together with LSs and alumni. So what I would do is now take all of these discussions and implement them in the next strategic plan, because right now it's hard to connect it to this one, and I don't think there's a plan to change it. But yes, I would definitely recommend using the outcomes of all of these discussions when the next strategic plan is written.
Okay, any question on this? I have Apep. In what concerns team assistant, you have stated that sometimes even after you explain your point of view regarding the subject, it is not implemented. Could you be more specific on that at all?
Eva, IPP. Yeah, I think this is just human nature, because everyone comes in with all of their ideas, and then IPP sometimes is just there saying no, because you've seen all of these ideas happen before and not work. But all you can do is explain and then see. Sometimes it happens that when you re-implement the idea, it works, but usually not. So yeah, that's mostly it, but I think it's more of a general problem in EPSA as a whole, that sometimes we push things even though people that already tried tell us not to do it.
Any comments? I will proceed to the last question on the spreadsheet from Apep. Why it was you assisting events coordinating in several matters?
Eva, IPP. Yes, a lot has happened with events, and what also happened at the end of last mandate is that I got involved also as caretaker of VP Education, and it kind of, I guess, organically moved forward in that way that I was still involved. But everything was discussed. We have a group chat, me, Anne, Mihai, Bernardo, and Marco, so the people that were most involved in the events. And I was there mainly to help with background information, and because I was also working on the events checklist and so on, because I felt that more needed to be done to help RCs and events in general. And based on my experience, I decided, well, after discussing with exam, of course, we decided that it would be good for me to step in and help here a bit to hopefully resolve the communication issues with different RCs.
Any comment? Do I have any questions or comments on the room? If not, Mihai.
Hi, President. Yeah, I think everybody cannot thank you enough for all the work that you've done for us.
Thank you. So now I think we will proceed to the voting of the motion for the executive, because it was present all the reports. So I will read the motion. The 58th EPSA General Assembly accepts the following executive Autumn Assembly reports 2019-2020, President, Secretary General, Treasurer, immediate Vice President, Vice President of Education, Vice President of Public Relations, Vice President of External Relations, Vice President of Internal Affairs, and Vice President of European Affairs. I open the floor for discussion. Technical meeting.
And close the discussion.
Okay, I will read the motion again. The 58th EPSA General Assembly accepts the following Executive Autumn Assembly reports 2019-2020, President, Secretary General, Treasurer, immediate Vice President, Vice President of Education, Vice President of Public Relations, Vice President of External Relations, Vice President of Internal Affairs, Vice President of European Affairs. All those against? Abstentions? The motion was carried unanimously.
Mihai, President, would it be okay to take now the activity report of the Education 2018-2019? It's 5 minutes. I don't know if Diogo is online. But
Bernardo?
Yeah, but I can try to call him during the break. I tried to contact him now, but he's not there.
Technical behind.
Okay, then I guess we can go to the break right now, and we will continue later.
Please raise your voting hands high.
Please be silent. So, scrutiny you need to give to Mina. Okay, Marco has a point.
Marco, VPEDU. Yeah, I would just like to raise point for all access to procure delegations to fill methodology booklets survey for soft skills annex, because we're really lacking responses, and this is a perfect opportunity for all of us to gather as much as possible responses so we can get a good policy document. So please try to procure delegations or your chats, informal or however, just to fill. And if you have questions, approach me or educational department. Thank you.
Mihai President, I just want to address one thing. I would ask the General Assembly to pay attention to what they are voting and what they are referring, because what happened is for the grant coordinator, we just took all of the questions down, and Neja really wanted to respond to your questions, so I would ask the General Assembly if they want to address something to Neja to go and talk with her, because right now we cannot take any more of those points. Thank you.
Yes, BPHD, Matthias, BPHD Germany. I apologize, I only wanted to close the discussion from the current point that we're discussing and not the whole report. Thank you.
I have a new part, Dylan.
Dylan, European Affairs. I would just ask for the signature list where